occurrence of satsang happens. Occurrence of satsang happens because of two entities. Not only the speaker but also the listener. Not only because of the Sadguru but also because of the inclination and the focus and the passion and the purpose of a Shishya. The outside world change because of science, technology, Vignan, so advanced. Inner worlds change because of satsang. And we are witnessing a satsang happening between a Sadguru and a Shishya. Not only a student, but a worthy student. Presented three arguments for the doubt of the existence of the soul. Guru, the Sadguru is explicating, expounding on the treaty of existence of the soul by resolving all the three arguments one by one. We saw how he resolved the first argument, which was put forth in verse 45. Verse 45, the argument was the soul cannot be seen by the eyes or perceived by any sense organs. Therefore, it does not come within the purview of sense experience, and so its existence is doubted. This was Shishya's, the disciples' argument in verse 45. And Sadguru explains, resolves it, removes it, clarifies it in two verses, which were they 50 and 52. So he says, how can the eyes see, how can the eyes perceive the soul? He could have said the soul is not tangible. He could have said the soul is not made up of matter, so not visible. But he begins with, how can the seer itself be seen? When eyes could not see eyes, when you believed that eyes was the seer, that time also the eyes could not see the eyes. And then he goes out to prove that it is not the eyes who are the seer, but some substance, some entity behind the eyes or behind the brains, if you want to use it for knowing and for seeing, we'll keep eyes, which sees. That constant, unobstructed, continuous experience of consciousness, which cannot be subtracted and which is independent of external objects, limbs or eyes or finger or anything. Abhadhe Anubhav, continuous and unobstructed. That is the soul. And in verse 52, he makes it very, very clear. 5 senses, or say 5 sense organs, perform their respective activities with their limited ability to perceive. Limited, no? Nija nija vishayanu gnan. Whatever is their subject matter. So in that limited capacities. Whereas the task of knowing all the activities of the senses, so perceiving the object in its full, its touch, its smell, sight, taste, everything of a material object, say, because we are talking of the material objects. While the senses could only know, which I am going to say no for that very soon, but the senses could know only their subject matter, so limited ability to know, while the soul perceives all the activities of the sense organs or the senses at one given time. Not only that, it integrates the information, coordinates bolo, harmonizes bolo, orchestrates bolo, je bolo, ite bolo, and three things: knows all, second, integration of the whole, all the knowledge, and third, remembers it, stores it, and it comes back again in future. खबर छे आपने पिज़्ज़ा हट में गया था. So three things, right? Knowing all, to the extent, okay, knowing all, integration of the information, and third, yes, storing it and remembering it whenever needed. So next time when you just see the mango and your tongue begins to water, જીભમાં પાણી આવી ગયું. You have not yet put it on your tongue. You have just seen a mango and your mouth begins to water. So much, and we call it, this is the main problem. This we call as sanskar, sangna, little bit of that stimulus, and everything is activated. We say man is activated, we say chitta vritti. I don't want to go into the details of it, but this is the way. And so also for satsangs and bhakti, little bit you remember and everything comes back. We just see the roads of New Jersey and the whole Pratishtha comes back. Everything, the bhajan, the bhav, the ecstasy, whatever. So this is the function. And now he strikes that the senses know only within the limited capacity. This is also a formality. How can a sense organ know when it is lifeless, when it is inert? Inert. It is devoid of consciousness only. It is only because of the presence of the soul that they function. So they are only instruments. The specs need not be a conscious substance for me to see. It can be lifeless and still be instrumental in perceiving. In the same way, eyes can be non-living, inert, or lifeless, unconscious, devoid of consciousness, because the real knower or the seer is a conscious substance called the soul. So briefly resolving the verse 45, he moves on to the argument put forth in verse 46. Let's see. So after giving an apt solution to the argument presented by the disciple in verse 45, now the Guru resolves the doubt put forth in verse 46. What was it? In verse 46, the disciple said that the body, senses, or the breath alone should be considered as the soul. So soul is just another word, either for a live body. If you have to differentiate between dead body and a live body, then soul will be considered the live body, or the knowing faculty in your being. So say senses, because that's what the disciple believes. The senses know. So the sensing faculty is the senses. So either it is a live body, it is the senses, or it is the breath. But no independent substance separate from these three, he does not believe in the existence of any substance which is independent of either body, sense, or breath, which can be considered as soul. And there are no signs of the existence of soul also. There is no distinguishing factor that there is a substance called soul which is separate from these three, number one. And number two, there is no independent sign or evidence or characteristic of the soul. Two things were put forth in verse 46. So here we see the first half of this argument is resolved in verse 53, which we will be doing now. Body, senses, and breath can be considered as the soul. So that will be solved in 53. And he said there is no sign of the existence of the soul. That will be catered in the next verse, 54. So it is resolving the second doubt put forth in 46, which had two things. Either these are called the soul, so that will be resolved in 53. And there are no signs or characteristics of a soul independent of the body, senses, and breath, and that will be catered in the next verse. Very clear? So I said, 2 for each. But that also, first line mate 1, second line mate BG. It's so perfect and it's so easy to remember. So proving the independent existence and independent existence, independent of body, senses, and breath. So proving the independent existence of the soul as separate from body, senses, and breath, the Guru says.
देहन जाने तेहने जाने न इंद्रिय प्राण आत्मानी सत्ता बड़े तेह प्रवर्ते जान.
So very easy. Dehan jane tehane jane na indriya pran. Dehan jane tehane, the body does not know it. Now, what is that it we will discuss. Lot of things will come in it. But the body does not know it, nor does the senses know it, nor does the breath know it. Because they don't have anything like knowingness only. So they won't know anything. The body won't know the soul. The body won't know the body. The body will not know the senses. The body will not know the objects of the senses. Nothing, because it does not have knowingness only. You understand? So, tehane means it. Dehane jane tehane. Tehane means it. But what will come in it? The soul and itself. The body will not be able to know itself also, because it is an unconscious substance. A substance without the attribute of knowingness. And how do you say so? Dead body. Body is there, but it does not know anything. Okay? So, dehana jane tehane. So the body does not know. It is not important because it does not know only anything. So everything which is knowable, the body won't know. Anything in the world which is knowable, but it is not going to know, because the problem is that it is without knowledge, without consciousness. Okay. So dehana jane tehne means body does not know. Jane na indriya pran. Even the senses don't know, and even the pran means the breath does not know. Atmani satta vade, in the presence of the soul, satta means presence. So Atmani presence vade, with the presence of the soul, teha pravarte jan, these three function. If you see the body functioning, if you see the senses functioning, if you see the breath functioning, it's all because of the association of this conscious substance which I call soul. Again, dehana jane tehane, jane na indriya, jane na pran. It's for all three. Atman is, and if at all you want to believe that senses do know, that is only because of the presence of the soul. Correct? And we'll see how. So, the short meaning, the body does not know it, the senses and the breath also do not know it. The soul is the knower of the body, senses, and breath. And they all function only due to the presence of the soul, or else they lie inert, lifeless. So that lifeless or not knowing is the true nature of the body, of the senses, of the breath. They lie inert. Dead body in a mele smashan in a jati. We go to the smashan with our legs. But the dead body cannot, because their life apnar, consciousness apnar, tattva, substance is absent. So it has to be carried by, હવે તો ક્યાં ચાર માણસ જાય છે, એમ્બ્યુલન્સ. એમ્બ્યુલન્સમાં લઈ જવા પડે. You understand? Because who was giving life to the body? बहुत जल्दी सोल पर આવી ગયા તમે. You have to inquire, because there is something which is giving life and consciousness. Because a living person is considered conscious person. So there was something which was giving life and consciousness to the body, making it move and know. Move also and know also. So independently it could not, but because of the presence of something, it could. So now we need to go into the details of the verse to understand how, why do you need another propelling force or say substance. Okay? So just a bird's eye view of what we are going to study in this stanza or this verse. It's called Vihangavlokan. Oh, it's not a difficult thing at all. Vihang bird, avlokan view. Bird's eye view. So seeing the verse first in just 2 minutes, and then going into every detail of the word and the comma and the punctuation and the essence, and we grasp the meaning of the verse. So Guru is further explaining the significance of the soul. And in this verse he'll be saying, while the soul propels the actions and the thoughts, but its nature is quiet and unobtrusive. I'll explain what. એકદમ ક્વાયટ રહે છે, કરે છે બધું એ આત્માની સત્તા વડે દેહ પ્રવર્તે જાન. You may be running a marathon, very fast, or some people talk very fast, some walk very fast. Lot of things, but it remains quiet and unobtrusive. Meaning, what is visible? The body. What is visible? The senses. What is visible? The breath. So they are visible, they seem active. But it's all because of that silent propeller. Silent. But unfortunately, it is invisible. Unfortunately, being invisible, it is always, nahi to at least often or mostly ignored. Invisible are ignored. What is visible, જે બહુ દોડાદોડ કરતો હોય સ્ટેજ પરથી દેખાય. પણ જે વ્યવસ્થિત આખું પ્લાનિંગ કરતો હોય એ ન દેખાય. It remains silent and invisible. But that substance is like salt in your food, which remains invisible and still gives taste to everything. ઢોકળું સારું હતું, ખાલી salt કાઢી નાખો, ગલે ના ઉતરે. Did you see the salt? Did you experience the salt? Did you see the salt, Shiv? No, because you have a great agra. Okay, everything, if it exists, it has to be seen. So did you see the salt? Did you experience the salt? But it is invisible. It was not visible in your dhokla. I know you didn't have the dhokla. That is another thing. Your face is only showing. So see the salt. It's a material object. Still it's invisible in your food. And still it is because of the salt it is being tasty. It gives taste to everything. You know, chili powder nakho, to make it spicy. But if it's not along with salt, it's different. It doesn't make the food tasty. So it's the salt which gives taste to the food and still it is invisible. And so is the soul. Gives significance to every object, every occurrence. I said vastu ane ghatna. Object and every object gets its significance because of the knower. Even the Kohinoor gets because of the knower. Right? And if the water of ego is made to evaporate, the salt, it shines in all its pristine purity. Pure mithu. Mithu pani, pani evaporated. You and ego evaporated, and you shine in all your pristine purity. Understood? So it's all the man's connection to the higher consciousness and spiritually enhanced manner of living that one can experience the soul. So turning towards the details of the verse itself. In this stanza, the Guru wants to convey the disciples' incorrectness in believing that the body, the sense, or the breath can be considered as the soul. You don't need all three also. Either the body or the sense or the breath can be considered as a soul. So you can use the word soul, but there is no independent substance like a soul. You want to use the word soul, use. You want to use the word spirituality, use. But the spirit means a live body or sensing organs or the breath. There is no independent substance than these three. So he says all these are material. The Guru says the material body, the senses, which are the part of the body itself. So obviously again material. Body is material and senses are the parts of the body. So again it is made of matter itself. And the breath. None of them are of the nature of knowingness. And he's going to prove it here. That none of these three are having the attribute of knowingness. And we do know that it is evident, right? Ochu you know or vadare you know, but you all know. And all these three substances or all the three do not have the attribute, characteristic of knowingness or say consciousness. Or with them simple words, my knowledge. Nothing. I would not use the word knowledge, either knowingness or consciousness. So, as they don't possess the attribute of knowingness, they will not know what? They will not know the soul. So if they cannot know the soul, don't think the soul does not exist, because they are not going to know the soul. They don't possess knowingness only. So they will not know the soul. They will not know themselves. હું આ બોડી છું, આવા શેપનો છું, એવું બોડીને ખબર પડે? No, it does not have the attribute of knowingness. So it's not knowing wrongly or knowing rightly. You can use this mithya and samyak gnan for the entity having gnan. So his gnan is in the wrong direction, his gnan is in the right direction. But right and wrong can be used if you possess gnan. So body is not wrong because body does not have a wrong gnan. It is the soul having the wrong gnan that I am the body. But the body is never wrong because the body does not have anything like gnan. Consciousness, chaitanya, it does not possess. So the body will not know the soul. So if the senses don't know the soul, nothing great, it is common sense. It does not know, so it's not going to know the soul if it exists or if it's not existing, but it will not know. So don't say, why my eyes don't know the soul? Like that also it won't know. So the body does not know the soul, the body does not know the body does not know the senses and breath. Same for everything, for senses also and for the breath also. Because of Gnana Varniya Karma, no, Riya, no, not because of Gnana Varniya Kriya, because karma, but because it does not possess the attribute of Gnan. If you don't understand anything, it is because of Gnana Varniya Karma, because lot of karmas began the Uday since morning, it seems. So you not knowing is because of something else. You have the full capacity. See, fans એ આવે એની capacity fullest છે. પણ it is regulated by the regulator. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. અમેરિકામાં હોય કે ના હોય? કે ટોપ સ્ટોપ જ હોય? 3 હોય, અમારે 5 હોય. ત્યાં ગયો ને તારી પુણ્યાઈ કેટલી ઓછી થઈ. અહીંયા 5 લેવલ્સ મળતી હતી, ત્યાં તને 3 જ લેવલ મળે છે. રાઈટ? એટલે ઓછી થાય પુણ્ય ત્યારે ત્યાં વેસ્ટમાં જવાય, એમ મિનિંગ થયો એનો, રાઈટ? So when it is on 1, you do not say that my fan has less capacity. When it is on 5, you cannot say my fan has top capacity. It is the manifestation or exhibition of the capacity which differs. Capacity, when it is on 1, the capacity is fullest. But the exhibition of the Shakti or the manifestation is because of, again, the karmic influences. So I won't talk about it today. But there's nothing like, I've heard people say also કે બિચારા ઘડિયાળનો જ્ઞાના વર્ણિયનો ઉદય લાગે છે. મેં કીધું પણ એને જ્ઞાન જ નથી તો કર્મ ક્યાંથી એને અટકાવી શકે? ટેલિવિઝન જોતા હોઈએ તો પણ બ્રાઇટનેસ લેસ એન્ડ મોર, વોલ્યુમ લેસ, લો અને હાઈ, but the capacity is fullest. You can regulate because of karmas. So the difference is not in capacity, the difference is in only manifestation. And that is the exact meaning of Sahajatma Swarup Param Guru. Hey Bhagwan, hey Param Guru, hey Pancha Parameshti, focusing on the capacity of the soul, we both are same. And regarding the manifestation, you are fully manifested, and I am not. But today I am not talking of the manifestation. I am going to talk about the capacity, the Sahajatma Sarup Param Guru. We both are same. So it becomes meditation. When you are focusing in this way, the mantra, the chanting of this mantra will become meditation. And when you say Sahajatma Sarup Param Guru, hey Param Guru, the thing I need to worship in you is your Sahajatma Sarup which you have manifested. Then this chanting becomes bhakti. The same mantra. If focused on the capacity, it becomes meditation. If focused on the manifestation, it becomes bhakti. Okay, you are so great, I just need to worship you. When you bow down to you, it becomes bhakti. And the moment you focus on the capacity of the soul, or rather the very nature of the soul. Sahaj, sahaj, sahaja, ja એટલે જન્મ. જન્મની સાથે જ હોય, સહ. Means it was always there. Whatever we have achieved from birth, it means you would say it is always there with me. Say I have a birthmark, say I have a birthmark over here. So I will say, આ તો જન્મથી છે. આ કંઈ પાછળથી નહોતું, આ કંઈ લેપ્રસી બેપ્રસી નથી, આ કોઈ પિગમેન્ટેશન નથી. This is a birthmark since સહજ જન્મ. It becomes sahaj. Sahaj means which is natural, which has always been, which is your essence. Essential, existentialism, essentialism, forget it. So, okay? So, Sahajatma Swarup Param Guru. So, focusing on the capacities and focusing on the exhibition of the capacities. Two different things. Paryaya Drashti, Dravya Drashti. I am having these two words in my mind when I am speaking this. Dravya Drashti, Paryaya Drashti. Okay? So, the soul, the body, devoid of knowingness, does not know it. What comes in it? The soul, itself, and other things also. Everything. Why? Because it cannot, because it's very far, because it's very near. No, because it is devoid of the attribute of knowingness. Therefore, it is established that there has to be some other substance with the attribute of knowingness. If the body is without knowingness and still I know, I say that I know. I said yesterday I understood this verse. But the body does not have that attribute of knowingness. So there it is established logically, not experientially, but logically, that there was an experience of knowing. The body is without the attribute of knowingness, so there has to be some other substance who is with the attribute of knowingness and which knew, which understood. I don't want to hurry, I don't want to call it the soul and all. I want you to say that. I won't say logically it appears there has to be some substance. If there are only two people in the room and if they say that I have not eaten this laddu, so the two people and both of them say, or say there's only one person in the room and that person says, I have not had the laddu, but there were two laddus and now one is absent. So if that fellow is speaking the truth, it means someone has entered the room and had this laddu. logically, though you don't know who that someone is. And right now, even I don't know who that someone is, whether it is a soul or not, but I know there has to be someone else who is knowing everything. True? Okay. And then second line says, so dehana jane tehane, and jane na indriya, jane na pran, nothing, because they all are devoid of knowingness. But I do see in my normal functioning that my eyes know, my nose knows the smell, my eyes knows the forms, my tongue knows the taste. So all this knowing, so again there is a confusion. So there is no confusion at all. He is saying Atmani Satta Vade, because of the presence of Atma, which is the substance, having the attribute of knowingness. So because of the presence of this Atma, Atmani Satta Vade, Teha means all three, Pravarte, Jan, they function. If you see the body walking and knowing, it's because of the presence of that knowing substance. If you see the senses functioning and knowing, it is because of the association, because of the conjunction, because of the presence of some conscious entity, which is the Atma. So, when the body senses, or let's take the body right now, when the body is in association with that conscious substance, it functions. When it is separated from it, the functions stop. That body. All the functions stop. Even for the senses, even for the breath. So it means the body, the senses, the breath can only engage in any functioning if it is propelled by the soul, in the presence of the soul. Atmani satta vade, teha means all three, pravarte, function, aim to jan, understand this. Right? So, there is a propelling, I won't use force because then physics ni gadbad thase. So, substance is the right word. There is a propelling force which makes them function. Body, senses and breath. Whatever their work is, whatever the faculty is, but they function because of the presence of a soul. And why do you say so? How did you come out with this theory? Because examining a corpse, a dead body, everything is same. The height, the weight, everything is same. The place, it's put in the same manner. The nose is in the place of the nose. The eyes are in the place of the eyes. Everything remains same, and the knowingness is not there. That indicates, or that forces me to believe that there has to be something like knowingness. Now I don't know whether it's another substance or it is just one of the activity of the body which has stopped. That's what the materialistic people will believe. That it was just like walking was one activity, knowing was another activity, so knowing has stopped. But with the knowing, everything has stopped. The breathing has stopped, the sensing has stopped, the moving has stopped. With that stopping of the knowing consciousness, absence of consciousness, everything. Why? Because it is the soul which is giving life to the body. And consciousness, two things. Life. If you see life in a living body, it's because of the soul. If you see the senses knowing, it is because of the soul. If you see the breath functioning also, it's because of the soul. So it's only proving that there is another substance with the attribute of knowingness. So just going a little bit in detail to make it very, very clear. Say, take the example of a dead body. Something, how will you need to examine the phenomena of death. What has actually happened? The body, આપણે તો કહીએ ને એકદમ સૂતા હોય એવું લાગે છે. Sometimes on death they say like nothing, as if they're just sleeping right now. So everything of the body remains the same, and still there is no knowing or feeling or experiencing. And that is why we do not mind putting the body, the dead body, on the pyre. Cremation. આપણે એમ થાય છે કે અરે દાજી જશે એમને બહુ દુઃખ થશે, because we know the knower, the entity which could feel the sensation, which could experience, is not there. So how can we keep our loved ones, dear ones, on a burning fire? Wouldn't it experience pain when the fire touches it? But the whole world knows, not only the spiritual beings, not only the enlightened ones, the whole world, not believing in the existence of soul, will also not mind. Because they know the knower, the experiencer, is no more there. So this itself is an astonishing thing. It makes you thinking, what is absent there then? What is not there? Or say, what is present in a living body? Or what is absent in a dead body? You need to think. You can't overlook. See, it is something like, I can just give you one example and shut this whole debate only. Do you have any electric appliances at your temporary homes or permanent homes? Lot of electric appliances. When the Aradhana people will leave for Bombay, caravan of trucks they will need. એક ટ્રક નહીં, રાઈટ મેનર્સ? ક્યાં છે? એકમાં this is જસાની ટ્રક, પછી બીજી ટ્રકની અંદર 3 ફેમિલી લઈ લેશું. And you have electric gadgets and you have electricity. મેહુલભાઈ કહે છે electricity nahi hai, electricity. It's not double C. Electric city. શરૂમાં આવતા તારે કે ઇલેક્ટ્રિક સિટી નથી, મેં કીધું કઈ સિટીની વાત કહું? ઇલેક્ટ્રિસિટી. So that's fine, that we don't need here. આ તો તમે સાંભળો આ દ્રષ્ટાંત બરાબર એટલા માટે. So, but any પ્રેમાર્પિત you ask except for few, તો કે ઇલેક્ટ્રિક સિટી નથી હમણાં, ઇલેક્ટ્રિક સિટી ચાલી ગઈ છે. Fine, they mean the same, and it's your problem if you don't understand. So, two things are very clear. Shiv, get up. You can look in the east only, you don't need to look in the west today. This is east. I'm looking in the west and you're looking in the east. So, do you believe in electric gadgets and appliances?
Yes.
Have you seen, have you experienced it?
Yes.
You have seen it?
Yes.
And they work, how do they work?
With electricity.
Electricity. So how, tell me something about the sight, the smell, the feel, the taste of electricity. Because it's not visible and still you believe. One minute. I want to know, why are you so partial? Some invisible things you want to believe and some invisible things you don't want to believe. So, two questions, and you have to answer it. Number one, what is the form of electricity? What is the feel, touch? What is the smell? What is the taste of electricity? I need to know, because you said it exists. I don't believe it exists because I have not seen it. I have not seen electricity. So I don't believe. But you said you believe. So answer me that. And second, if you say it is invisible, it's not visible to the eyes, then I want to know why do you believe in some invisible things and why you don't believe in some other invisible things? Two questions. You can phone a friend for help. You can ask anyone. Any G's you can ask. They can help you. But I'm sure they won't help you because it's your problem you need to solve. So what is the shape of electricity?
There's no shape of electricity.
Oh, it is formless. The form is not known. Okay.
There's no
Taste.
There's no taste.
Khatta, mitha.
There's no taste.
No taste. Smell.
There's no smell.
So there's nothing, and still you want to believe its existence.
Yes.
You have a beja, right? So sit down. So it is like this. The electric appliances or gadgets are like the body, is like the body. It functions because of the presence of electricity. And the body also functions presence of soul. You can see your fans, your tube lights, your TV, your refrigerator work. That you can see. But you can't see electricity. First thing, only works in its presence. No electricity, it does not work. Number one. Number two, you can see the electric appliances work, function, but still you cannot see electricity. Similarly, body, senses, breath, you can see it function, but you cannot see the reason behind the functioning too. Electricity, number three, electricity is most felt, look at me, it is most felt in its absence rather than presence. जो हमना छे electricity, right? You won't even think of it. પછી તમારી ભાષામાં light ગઈ. Light તો actually અહીંયા જ છે, પણ why you say ગઈ, I don't know. Light ગઈ. અહીંયા જ ગઈ છે electricity કે બહાર બી ગઈ છે? જો બધે ગए હોય તો again you are fine. That though I don't understand why the pain is same but still you don't feel. So this is seen and this is not seen. Similarly, the functions of the body is seen, this is not seen. Second point. Third point, the absence is more felt than the presence. Same. Attana atma છે કે નહીં? But you don't even care to think about it. And suddenly, આજે સવારના આ મરી ગયા. So you will stare at the dead body. Oh, આત્મા તો નીકળી ગયો. That is the time you will think about the soul. When actually it should be contemplated whole life. But it is most remembered seeing someone's death. What's happening? Television છે પણ ચાલતું કેમ નથી? Body છે પણ ચાલતું કેમ નથી? અરે electricity વહી ગઈ, ચાલી ગઈ. Fourth thing also I need to tell you, the difference between this example, the electricity and the soul. Electric appliances, body. Electricity, soul. So I showed you so many similarities. So this example is very apt. There is one difference. The difference is when you experience an electric shock, you don't want to experience the pain again. When you experience the soul, you want to experience it again and again and again because of the immense happiness derived from it. That's the only difference. એક વાર પેલું પ્લગ કાઢીને આંગળી નાખ્યો હોય તો જિંદગીમાં બીજી વાર નહીં જોઈએ અને હમણાં જ આત્મામાં ગયા હોય ને જસ્ટ બહાર આવ્યા હોય તો બી પાછું આત્મામાં જવું. You understand? So body we understood. Now let's take the second one, sense. Dead body. ખેંચો એની જીભ. There are certain rituals, especially in the Vaishnava tradition, that a dead body ne પહેલા આપણે લઈ જઈએ સ્મશાનમાં cremation માટે. So you have to open the mouth and put Ganga Jal, put tulsi, or some even put I don't know, a little bit of sugar or anyone. So મેં તો પહેલી વખત જોયું પપ્પાની ડેડ બોડી હતી જ્યારે. So lot of people from Bhakti group came, so there were some Vaishnavas also. So they requested કે અમારામાં આવું છે, હું કરી શકું? અમને દિલીપભાઈ બહુ ગમતા હતા, બહુ વાલા. મેં કીધું હવે જે કરવું હોય તે કરો ને જે મને પ્રિય હતો એ તો નીકળી ગયો છે, એ તો ક્યારનો બીજે સેટલ બી થઈ ગયો છે. All night the body was in the house, that's why. So they opened the mouth, then they put Ganga Jal and all. So પપ્પાને તો બહુ ભાવતું હતું, ગળ્યું બહુ ભાવતું હતું. He liked sweets, my father. So he liked the sweet taste. So when they put પેલી શું સાકરનું શું કહેવાય granular just like something like that. So granule of sugar they put in the mouth of my father's body. Or I don't know, શું બોલી રહ્યો છું પણ એમાં માઉથમાં. I said, હાશ પપ્પાને મીઠું બહુ ભાવતું હતું. Nothing. He didn't even react. Why? The sense organs were exactly it was yesterday when he was living. Same, in the same place, in the same way. Eyes did not come over here. Nose did not go over here. Same, everything was same. Still there was no experience of any sensation of that granule of sugar or of the burning fire. He did not experience any. So through touch or through taste, there was no sensation. Why? Because the knower, the experiencer was absent. And everything remained the same, in the same way, in the same place. So as we said yesterday, Kohinoor is not important. The eye seeing the Kohinoor is important. The eyes are also not important. The seer is important. The actual seer is important. The instrument is also not important. The object is also not important. Without the presence of the seer. So there are two beautiful words used by Pandit Banarasi Das ji, and we find an elaborate explanation by Param Kruparudev in Vachramrut on this. Gnayakta and Vedakta, two words. Though you will not understand, but at least those who are understanding. Two qualities of the soul, many qualities of the soul are shown in that verse. But two qualities especially, Gnayakta and Vedakta. Gnayakta to know, Vedakta to experience. But the knower is no more. The experiencer is no more. See, he has not said knower or experiencer. He's saying knower and experiencer. Gnayakta and Vedakta. He's gone into the subtle truth of the soul. We don't need it here. We just need the knower is absent. So dead body does not get any sensation of being burnt or anything. Second, the sense organs. So no, कोई dead body ની એકદમ નિકટ આપણામાં તો ફૂલનો હાર ના કરે, સુખડનો હાર ચડાવે ડેડ બોડીને, પણ ઇન અધર કમ્યુનિટીઝ ફૂલનો હાર કરે. તો આટલા બધા ફૂલ આવે તો કેટલી સુગંધ આવતી હશે નહીં? 50-60 હાર હોય કોઈ વાર. ઇફ ઇઝ અ વેરી ફેમસ પર્સન, એવરી વન વોન્ટ્સ ટુ ચડાવ વન હાર. તો કેટલી સુગંધ આવતી હશે નહીં? તો કે ગઈકાલે કરવું હતું ને તો બધી સુગંધ આવતી. When the soul was present in that body, because the soul was the knower. Very clear? And the last, what was it? Body, senses, and the last, breath. Now the problem is our deep association of life and death with breathing. We have always seen breathing stop, declared dead. Breathing on, he is yet living, you will say. So we have equated breath is equal to soul. So I want to use the word breath because I am a medical student, so I will use the word breath. You are a spiritual guy, you can use the word soul, but it means the same thing. This is an association in the mind because we have always seen like that, we have always heard like that. Okay, once the breath stops, he is declared dead. Breathing is still living, though he is not walking, though he is not seeing. But શ્વાસ ચાલુ છે તો જીવે છે. એટલે there is an association in our mind with life is equal to breathing, or say breathing is equal to, if you want to use the word soul, use the word soul. Had it been life, had the breath been life, or say it constitutes a soul, then the longevity could be extended indefinitely with the help of oxygen cylinders. Dhirubhai Ambani should be living yet, because he could afford oxygen cylinders for say 50 more years, 100 more years. Your breathing is supported by oxygen cylinders, and if breathing is the existence of soul, you could extend its for indefinite period. Till you have the money to buy oxygen cylinders, you could keep someone living. You have everything, you have ventilators now, you have oxygen cylinders, you have so many other devices and mechanisms. And still at one point they will say everything was there, but off થઈ ગયા છે. I don't know the word. Off થઈ ગયા છે. કોણ off થઈ ગયો? દેહ off થઈ ગયો, આત્મા off થઈ ગયો, off થઈ ગયા છે. પાસ હવે તો હજી બી સમજા ચાલ્યા ગયા છે, એટલે that આત્મા is left. It makes sense also. પણ ઓફ થઈ ગયા છે એટલે શું? એ તો હજી મને સમજ નથી પડતી. શું ઓફ થઈ ગયું છે? So with all these devices and mechanism also, because the breath is not the soul, it's just incidental. And so when the soul leaves the body, the breath stops, the senses stop working, and the body also is considered dead. Though I believe respiration is very, very essential for life, and why only breathing, even blood circulation for that purpose, even other brain activity, everything is essential for life. But understand one thing, even the brain is non-living. Dead body માં brain હોય? brain work નથી કરતો, I understand, but brain હોય. So what was making it work, function? Presence of a conscious entity, the Sadguru is saying, which we call soul. Brain in conjunction with the soul performs its activity, and it has its specific function, and it does it very well. And we always appreciate the brains, and brains na શું કહેવાય, કેવું mechanism છે brain, એવી રીતે. But you don't know કે આ બધું હોવા છતાં you will call it dead ones. Right. So it's inert, it's non-living, it's unconscious, means unconscious in the sense bebhan nahi, not conscious, that way, and only because of the presence of the soul. Atmani satta vade teha pravarte jan. Atmani satta nathi, they stop. Atmani satta vade teha pravarte jan. હવે તો આપણે આખું ડ્રામા કરી શક્યો on the first પદ. While chanting also, it's so meaningful. Atmani, presence, association, conjunction, vade teha pravarte jan. So what attribute of the soul he has conveyed here? The seeing, the knowing, and the experiencing. Technically, it is called darshan, gnan, and charitra. I am not using these words, but seeing, knowing, and seeing in the sense perceiving, knowing, and experience. Let's sing.
देह न जाने तेह ने जाने न इंद्री प्राण आत्मानी सत्ता वडे तेह प्रवर्ते जान